tip number 1, where are we going?
Okay, so if we go and find a little area to loot, like the supermarket in this town,
Okay, cool.
I can show you. Top tip number 1 is have you seen Zombieland?
Yes.
It's very much from Zombieland. Cardio is the most important
running.
thing. Never stand still. This being a private server, we're not going to have any trouble whatsoever with other people, so we don't need to be watching out for other people shooting at us. But on servers where there are other hostile players, standing still is always a big no-no, especially with the zombies as well. So always try and be a moving target as much as you can.
Yeah.
Tip number 2 is zombies can't run inside buildings. They have to walk. It's the way that they're programmed.
Is that all buildings?
All apart from the hangars, because they don't have a separate floor. The floor of the hangars is actually part of the airfield, so they can run on that.
All right. Okay.
So, for instance, this cafe here, a good way to kill them is just go into a cafe, go at the top of the stairs, and then shoot them as they come up the stairs. Or you can go into a fire station like this and just shoot them as they come in the door.
Okay.
So I like to open a few of the doors.
Well, in my experience, they seem to walk through the doors anyway.
Anyway, yeah, but you can't shoot them through the doors. So yeah, always take a knee, and that will increase your accuracy. And then nice, steady headshots. Let them get sort of as close as they like. They're not gonna hurt us too badly.
Optimistic.
Nah, it's fine. Also on DayZ Origins, so you get humanity for killing zombies. So every time you log in, it generates a random number between 15 and 50.
Yeah.
And when you kill that magic number of zombies, you don't know what the number is, but once you hit it, it gives you 300 humanity.
Okay.
Once you get that 300 humanity, it generates the next number along between 15 and 50. And it just keeps going like that. And that's how you rank up the hero levels. So my guy's skin, I look like this because I'm hero level 2. This is just one of the skins. Pay no attention to my arms. I'm aware that I'm a white man with black man's arms, but it's my driver's arm. I have a bit of a sunburn.
I was going to say tan lines.
Tan lines on the arms, yeah. So gear and stuff. I noticed. I did watch your other video of your first kind of session on here, and loot, grabbing of the loot is tricky. So if you sort of put your reticule over this little loot stash, you'll notice you get the gun symbol and what I call the recycling arrows. Now, if you middle click or click, you will just pick up whatever item it is selected to.
Yeah.
So you always want to scroll down and scroll to gear, and then click in your roller, and that will show you everything that's in that pile. Now from in here, if you double click your backpack, I'll actually open up your backpack and you can sort of drop. So for instance, I'm going to drop this ghillie suit into this loot pile, and I'm going to drop this camping tent as well, and then close my bag and close. Now you should be able to take the camping tent and the ghillie suit from that.
Okay, don't mind camping tent. And that goes straight, it goes straight into my backpack. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, I'll grab the ghillie suit and.
I already have one of them. It's
yep.
It's very, very comfortable.
So, whenever you get the gun with the recycling arrows, always remember to scroll to gear and then select the gear option, and then from there you can just click stuff into your backpack, close it again, and Bob's your uncle, really.
Excellent.
Next one is it's not cheating, but it kind of is. So, okay, we've aggroed. So back indoors, the safety of cover.
Running away. I like that plan.
Yes, it works. Yeah, the next one is called loot cycling. So I don't know if you've ever cycled loot before. A lot of people call it grinding loot or stuff like that. It's basically things like camping tents will spawn in this cafe.
Yeah.
So what you do is you pick up everything inside the cafe, even the stuff you don't need. Yeah. So like these chem lights, the cartridges, all the stuff in there, empty tin cans, absolutely everything. Pick it up and put it in your backpack. And then you go to a little area or a car that no one's using and you just dump all the gear. Once you've dumped all the gear, give it 5 or 10 minutes, come back here again, do the same again and again and again and again, and eventually you will get a camping tent.
So you just stay in the one area and
area. So for instance, in this area, I would loot the cafe, then I would loot the fire station, then I would loot the shop, and then the second cafe, and then I would just go around again and again and again and again, doing a circuit.
But you'll have a vehicle that you can dump all the stuff in.
All the good stuff that you want to keep, you put in your vehicle. All the sort of tat that you don't want, I'd probably leave in this hippie van. And that way, if anyone repairs this hippie van, they've got a van full of empty tin cans and wood. They'd have to empty all of that to use it. Well, yeah, it works. So yeah, just loot cycling's great, especially for, like, you go to an industrial spawn area and there's no wheels, for instance. Pick up absolutely everything and just dump it somewhere in a corner. Come back 5 minutes later and there should be a wheel in there, really. Okay. If there's not, just repeat the process.
Rinse and repeat.
Yes, works very, very well. Especially in airports. For instance, you could go up, loot all of the hangars. By the time you've looted all of the hangars and come back again, loot should have respawned. So it's a great way of getting ammunition for military guns and whatnot.
Fire stations are good for military hardware, aren't they?
Fire stations are good for certain items. Smoke grenades, maps, backpacks, and some guns. Mostly AKs, and occasionally you'll get a good pistol like a G17 or something in there. Mostly, really, you want to be going to the airfields to get easy military loot, because you've got a nice wide open space to escape from zombies and whatnot. And although they can run in the hangars, you can get to the comms tower and sort of stand at the top of the stairs and just shoot them headshot after headshot after headshot. Personally, these are my favourite building. I know
the church. I'm quite fond of a church as well.
They work. I mean, I'm not a religious guy, but they're pretty good. Got to admit, for the one entrance, one way in, and these pews are especially good for
dodging and ducking. And
bring all the zombies up the middle and then just run around the side and back out the door again. It's a great little tactic, and they do spawn some pretty good loot in these. You can get, well, in this you'll get blueprints and stuff, but mostly in DayZ you'll get a variety of ammunition, Makarov, a lot of food and drink, backpacks, maps. All of the great beginner stuff is in a church, and because it's quite a big building, you can see it from a long way off, same as the fire stations.
Yeah, I do like a church. I have to say, I do like a church.
They are good.
It's excellent killing ground. Probably not the right thing to say about a church, but...
I've just realised as well, you've probably picked the best town in Taviana to do a little tutorial video on. So, you know about schools, right? This is the school.
This is where I got my ghillie suit in a school.
Yeah.
Which I found to be a little bit bizarre.
So this is actually a great place to come and get tools and stuff. So you can get watches. You can't get hatchets and stuff because they spawn in industrial, but you will get watches and lots of like painkillers, all sorts in the schools. They're great. They're actually a great place to get guns and ammunition, which is a little bit weird, but...
The batteries are for building houses, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So on your house, you'll have a code lock, like a combination on the door, and you need the battery to power the combination lock. I think we will get to a point where you will want to build furry towers.
Furry towers.
Indeed.
That's an unfortunate name.
Well...
Mind you, anything containing the word furry tends to be an unfortunate name.
Like Furry's column.
Yeah.
Or whatnot, yes.
Yeah. Yes, I've got my SimCity world, which is Furry Acres.
Ah, yes.
It's a little bit unfortunate.
A little bit.
So falling from a height is bad.
It is bad. Also, I noticed that you and this weird gamer have been teaming up playing a bit of this. It's best to play this in pairs like we are now. So, for instance, if I break my legs, even though I have morphine myself, I'd let you morphine me, and vice versa. I'd let you bandage me, I bandage you.
Right.
And that way you get your humanity up a lot quicker.
I see, yeah. Pushing the humanity up.
Yeah, you really need to push it, because since some of the new patches and stuff in this, zombie spawning isn't great. Sometimes you'll kill one and the rest will all despawn. And with the AI and stuff as well, when you die, you actually lose 100 humanity, so... Yeah, death not good.
Cool. I'll be avoiding death then. I don't think.
Yes.
I don't think I've died yet.
So probably the best place, other than cafes, because there's quite a few of them in this town. The best place to loot is possibly a supermarket, in my opinion. You get watches, compasses, matches, backpacks, maps, guns, ammunition, binoculars. You get absolutely everything you will need in a supermarket. So these are the best shops to do the loot grinding. Just totally empty the shop and pile it all up. And
Do you have to absolutely empty it?
yeah, if you, for instance, there's 4 empty tin cans here on the floor.
Yeah.
If you left one, then that little spot would be considered occupied, and nothing else will spawn there until the spot is emptied.
So it's all about individual spots.
Yeah, one spawn spot can generate anything between 1 and 5 items, depending on what the item is. Depends on how many you get. So, for instance, wood in your inventory takes up more slots than a can of drink.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same when the item is on the ground. So if a loot spot contains 4 items and one of those items is a piece of wood, then it probably won't spawn anything else in that area. Same as with a crossbow, for instance.
Yeah.
In a backpack, a gun or a crossbow is 8 items. So if it spawns a gun, that's why a lot of the time you'll get a gun but no ammunition with it. It's because the gun is taking up all the slots of that spawn location.
Right. Okay, cool. Deeply technical.
Yes, indeed. Not quite as mathematical as Minecraft, but it's on a par with it. I'm just going to go back to the fire station because there is a little trick that's extremely useful if zombies are chasing you, and if there's more than what you can deal with, or you run out of ammunition for any particular reason. There's a great little escape route that you can do.
Cool.
Very tricky. This one is quite cheaty. It's taking advantage of a bug within the engine, but it's on every fire station in the game, on any map. So we need to hot foot it up the stairs. Hello, what we got here? AKM. AKM. Okay, if we come up to this level.
I
Okay.
just fell back down again. Never mind.
Broken legs
No,
or?
no.
Excellent.
Just embarrassed. There's no physical injury, just pride hurt.
Okay, on this level here, we're level with the roof outside.
Yep.
If you come here to the top of the stairs, you actually get an arrow to climb on a ladder. If you click climb ladder and then get off the ladder, you're outside on the roof.
Oh, cool.
Yes, this works on every single fire station. So what you do is, you've got 1,000 zombies chasing you and you can't get away. You run up to this level, hop through the wall, and then down this ladder over here. And jobs are good. You've made your escape and all the zombies are stuck inside the fire station. This works very well with PvP as well. If you've got someone really out for your blood and they're pursuing you no matter what, you can really kind of trick them out. A lot of people do know about the bug.
This is the bit I have trouble with, getting the down arrow for the ladder.
Okay, stand to the right of the ladder.
Stand to the right of the ladder. Oh, yep.
And look to the left of the ladder. So you're looking across it, and you should get climb down ladder.
Ah, gotcha.
There
That makes sense now.
What is a bit weird is whatever way you're facing when you click it is the way you climb down. So for me, you're actually coming down that ladder kind of sideways.
Yeah, I noticed that when you came down it.
Yeah, it's whatever way you're facing. So yeah, it's kind of weird. But you know, you'd have to be crazy to walk backwards up to the edge and try and scroll on the ladder. So
You'd need to be a perfectionist.
indeed,
that would be showing off in the extreme.
indeed.
Yeah, it doesn't want to do that.
Ah, okay. Double tap control. See if that does it.
Yeah,
There we go.
That's it.
Yeah. So what you've got in the game is they've added some kind of role play-esque stuff. So, for instance, if I double tap control, I lower my gun, and then if I hold shift, I can sort of walk forward with my gun lowered.
Right.
It's just to kind of not be
That's aggressive.
running around like a crazy person pointing my gun in your face. It's kind of, you know, it's sort of lower your weapon and walk casually.
That's
So.
enough then, yeah. Yep. Got that.
A couple of other things. Do you know how to salute and stuff?
No, I do not.
Okay, if you press your hashtag key, bosh, and then press it again. Jobs are good. And if you press your at key, a little chill on the floor.
Okay, useful.
Yeah,
Okay,
it can be.
That's going to be the one I hit when I'm being swarmed by zombies. I can guarantee it.
Another great little key is, so you've got hashtag then at, the one next to that, the colon key. You hit that, really fast way of switching between pistol and, well, primary and secondary. So when you're running on the fly and you haven't got time to scroll, just hit that and hit it again. And it's a quick way of swapping weapons. You do still have to stop running when you swap guns, but swings and roundabouts, you know.
Yeah, just keep running.
Yes, basically. Keep running until you get inside a building and then take them out with headshots. Once the coast is clear, continue loot cycling, basically.
So it's basically pitch up in a town and rob everything and keep robbing. But you need a vehicle for this.
I think my main sort of top tip of the whole thing is location is key. If you really want to build a village or a house, or just even a couple of you living somewhere, and you want to... Oh, there's Hoffman over by the shop. We may want to hide, because he is quite deadly.
Is he? Where did you hide?
I'm next to you now.
You're next to me, okay.
Yes. A little bit of a worry. Yeah, the top tip is location. So check your map, sort of have a good recce of areas. You really do need industrial loot, and that's where you're going to find cement mixers, bags of cement, reinforced material, all the stuff you need to build a house will only spawn in industrial areas. So you're going to want to find somewhere quite big. The best ones are the docks. So anywhere with a huge dock, that's a pretty good place to go. Cool. And look for that. You're going to need a hospital, a shop, and at least a fire station or an airfield, so you can get some good military weaponry. Yeah. So yeah, this is actually a really good town to pitch up near, because you've got
the hospital.
Well, I mean, you've got 3 cafes here. You don't have a hospital, which is true, but you can go further afield and do a real good loot run, like I'm saying with the cycling the loot.
Yeah. Do
3 or 4 cycles of a hospital, and you'll have 20 blood bags, 20 morphine. You'll have everything you need, and you'll only have to do that like once every 2 weeks or so. Okay. Once you sort of stack that up, once you got your little base and stuff up and running, you want to start hitting Salvation City. Always recommended to go in a largish group.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, because we took 8 guys and only 3 of us made it back, so it's kind of deadly, even though we are really sort of overpowered with the guns and stuff we have now, and we're all sort of pretty good at the game now. We've all put in more than a couple of 100 hours on DayZ vanilla, and Origins is fast catching up. We still struggle with the AI. They kind of do what they like. They walk through walls, shoot through walls, and
it only takes one bullet to end it for you.
Yes, indeed. And they literally got aim bots, so yeah, you've got to be careful.
In terms of vehicles,
yes,
like we've got that truck back in
the
city, back by the stadium. How often, when is that likely to despawn? How often do we need to sort of get in that and drive it to make sure it doesn't despawn?
Okay, so every time the server restarts, it reminds the vehicle that there's been a restart. Restart every 8 hours, and it'll be around 5 to 7 days. There's no exact science about it, but you've got about a week. So as long as somebody gets in the car, it doesn't have to be you. That's why we've built our village, and there's about 10 of us living in one village, is whenever anybody comes on, just get in and out of all of the cars, or just start the engines up. Same with the helicopters and whatnot.
Do you have to move it, or is it just,
no,
just
you
enough
can
to
just
sit in it?
Yep, just or even just scroll gear on it. It's fine. Okay. Same with camping tents and houses as well. So you are any houses or anything you've built, like a tent or a storage box, you need to access it once every couple of days. So
cool.
Yeah. What I would say is, camping tents wise, I noticed that you set up a tent in your video.
Eventually.
Yes. Well, if you set up a tent and you do die, every time you respawn, it gives you what they call an Origins ID, and it will give you a new ID each time you spawn. Once you pitch a tent and die and respawn, you have a different ID, so that tent technically isn't yours anymore, so you can't pack it up.
Right.
Which is rubbish. If you want to get rid of a tent and you don't want to wait for it to respawn, you just want to get rid of it, you can run them over with a car, blow them up with a grenade, things like that. So
cool. That sounds blowing up with a grenade seems a little extreme, but
a little bit, yeah.
sounds a bit Top Gear taking down a tent. That.
Yes. Running them over's always fun. Just be a bit careful, because I've only ever done it in a big Ural truck. I've never tried it on like a motorbike or with a car. So, don't be ramming your tent with something kind of weak, because it may just explode.
So is this one here industrial?
This is an industrial area. It doesn't actually have any loot spawns inside it though.
Okay, cool.
What you're going to want to be looking for is the large factories with the big blue doors, the big blue double doors.
Yeah.
The more of those you can find, the better. They have about 5 loot spawns in each, so you clear each one out and just keep going and keep going. Another trick you can do is, after a little while of spawning loot over and over, you'll end up with pickaxes and stuff, and you can only carry one.
Yep.
So if now quickly you just press G on the fly, you can double click your backpack, and it's open because it says close bag at the bottom.
Yep.
And then just double click your pick or your hatchet, for instance, and they'll go straight into your bag, and then close bag, and then you'll be able to pick up another pick and another hatchet. On this, obviously, you need to cut wood and gather rocks for building houses.
Yep.
Your pickaxes and hatchets will actually break after a random number of use. Can be
Minecraft.
3. Yes, it can be 3. It can be 103. They break. 3% chance of breaking on every use. So this little army base over here spawns a lot of zombies. A lot.
Are they worth going in?
I mean, this one's got a helicopter inside it, but none of those buildings are actually enterable buildings, so it won't have any loot in there whatsoever.
Cool.
So it's entirely up to you. A lot of the military camps do, and there's one at a place called Novi Door, which is on the other island. That is the best place to go and get guns if you're not going to go to Salvation.
Well, we're going to need a helicopter before we do that. Where's the best place to pick up helicopter parts?
Okay, so industrial. Have you got a car nearby, or?
Yeah, it's down the side of the airfield.
Okay, so we'll go and grab your car.
It's 972 meters away.
I think, is it a fire engine?
No, it's a limo.
Ah,
I travel in style.
limos are actually quite good. So if you look, do you have a compass?
I do.
You look northeast.
Northeast, yeah.
You see those big buildings over there?
Yeah, that
Huge
sort
ones.
of factory-looking thing down there.
That's the big industrial area. It's actually
That's the dock, isn't it?
Yes, and that is one of the best industrial areas around here.
Okay.
Now, with this being Taviana mod, you need to be a little bit careful about how close we drive up. So if you drive closer than 150 meters, the loot won't actually spawn, which can be a bit of a pain. So
I'm guessing it's at the roundabout turn
right. Yep, and down the hill, and there's a petrol station. You don't want to actually get as far as the petrol station, so.
Right.
So these limos are pretty good. They're not very fast off-road, and they don't hold a lot of ammunition. Now, I'm not too sure about Origins, but these are actually bulletproof. The glass is bulletproof in normal.
Not entirely sure this one's got a lot of glass in it at the moment.
Yeah. You got kind of front and back going on, but yeah, it is a little bit drafty in the back here.
Sorry about that. I'll
It's
turn the
okay.
heater on for you. Can't have my passengers getting cold.
It's okay. I'm fine.
You're a martyr.
Exactly.
So I'm looking for a petrol station.
Yeah, if you go to the end here and turn right,
Okay.
and you should see it. Sort of
Mirror,
down.
signal, maneuver. Oh, there's
So
another one
that-
of those helicopters. Whoop.
Yeah, that might be Kev. It might not be. Those helicopters are actually the best. They have 500 slots. So, yeah, if you want to park anywhere around here, you can leave it on the road or pull up off the road.
I'll leave it on the road.
Also, I noticed that you've got the running down to a T. So if you double tap you're going to sprint, and you can tell he's sprinting by the way he swings his gun.
Right, okay.
That will actually tire you out quite a lot, and you end up jogging again, but the jogging is slower than normal jogging, if you know what I mean. So when you're sprinting, you do cover an area quicker, but for long distance running, the jogging is always the best. I never sprint in this game. You're always going to be faster than zombies. So
good to know.
The best thing here is we're going to go into this industrial zone. Don't worry too much about aggroing zombies.
Right.
Because we're just going to, we'll just take them into a factory. You do get quite a few spawn here, and here's Hoff.
Oh, God.
So I'm going to try
I'm
and
bleeding now.
Yep, come in here. If you want to bandage yourself up, and I'll just
okay.
I'll rattle off Hoffman.
Yeah, you got a lucky shot in.
Now I think, there we go.
There
He's
we
down.
go. He's down.
If you want to loot his body before he despawns,
Does he have swag?
yes, he'll have a tool on him. So it could be an entrenching tool, it could be a GPS, and he'll have blueprints of some type.
Blueprint hero level 3.
Ah, see, that's quite a rare blueprint.
I've got the entrenching tool, so that's okay. Yeah, that's the one you have to get from the mayor, isn't it? Normally.
Yes, yeah, normally. There's also a pyramid. He has pyramid blueprints. Nice shot. So yeah, I think Kev has actually come looting here, because there's a wheel but no other loot. So I think we're encroaching on Kevin's looting.
Well, this is probably where he was heading then.
Yes, possibly. He might be around here.
He'll probably hear us shooting if he is.
He will, yeah.
So you'd have to empty this completely, run away for 5 minutes, come back.
That's what Kev's doing at the moment, I think. So, yeah, what you want to do is, for instance, this entrenching tool and this hatchet. So what you want to do is press G, double-click your backpack, put your double-click your entrenching tool and your hatchet. Then you can just run along, grab this one, and then run along, grab this one.
Yeah, okay.
And just follow that cycle. Just keep emptying the place, and eventually a main rotor will spawn.
Excellent.
Loot also spawns in these. Any containers with the doors open.
They can't run in there, can they?
Well, no, but it's very enclosed. So
yes.
What we're going to do is bring them all over to this building and take them out. So we're going to run up the blue ramp, and the zombies are going to run round to the other ramp with a bit of luck.
In theory.
Yep. So if we come to about here, that's some reinforced material there. It's quite rare.
So which way are the zombies going to come from?
They'll all come where I'm facing now.
Alright, okay.
They're queuing up. Here they come.
How does that look? Oop. There you go. You can have some too. Anyone else? Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
Cool.
That was a fair few.
Yeah, my count's gone up again.
Excellent stuff. Always one here. Always quite a few here.
I'm not seeing them. You've got a better angle than me.
Yep. You may have to cover for a moment.
Okay.
Just going to grab some ammo from the backpack. There we go. So, as you're looking through there now,
yeah,
you can use Q and E to lean. So if you press Q, it might give you a better angle for looking around the corner.
I think they've all gone.
Okie dokie.
I saw some of them walking away, so I'm not sure where they've gone. They're probably going to walk through a wall now and hit me.
Possibly. They do like the old wall hacks, but I think we'll be okay. There we go.
Cool.
Oh, you do get stuck on them a little bit. So yeah, there's just one more factory to raid, and I'll try and get you some. So yeah, those big blue doored factories we went to first, and these are the best places to come to get the loot that you're after.
Cool. So abandon the airport idea and just go for...
Yeah, just industrial. Once you kind of start finding industrial gear, you get a sort of gist for what buildings are what. Anything kind of like this with containers and kind of all the metal work and stuff. Mostly the docks are the best places to go, really.
Right. Okay.
And just keep doing that loot cycle system.
Is it a good idea to let people know what I'm doing in which areas? So
yeah, it's always kind of good to say,
like
look,
Kev's up here doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, if someone in particular's been cycling an area for maybe an hour or so, and you kind of rock up and a rotor, and that's what they've been waiting for. It's a little bit unfair.
Yes. All right. Fair enough.
But no, I mean, on other servers, obviously,
Grab what you can.
yeah, there is no friendly thing. So cycling loot on servers that aren't private is a lot more difficult.
Yep.
Just past the bus, about the same distance again, there's actually a hospital. So what we were saying about that small town up there having everything, if you come down here, the thing it hasn't got is industrial, but if you come down here for industrial, and there is also a hospital just there. So, I mean, the two things that town hasn't got
Or down here.
you can get from here. So kind of two birds with one stone. Whilst you come out looking for vehicle and base parts, get a bit of medical while you're here.
Yeah.
So this is actually quite a good part of Taviana. I've never sort of considered this part. We've got our sort of camp where it is, so we've been there since day one. Yeah, I quite like it over here. I might even put a house up somewhere, you never know.
How many houses can you have?
So you can have one level 1, one level 2, and one level 3. Obviously you need to be level 1, 2 and 3
Yep.
to build those respective levels. Once you're level 1, you can build a small garage as well, and a small garage can fit pretty much any car. And a guy on our squad managed to cram one of the APCs into a small garage, but it is kind of glitching through the wall now, so not kind of legit, and you shouldn't really do it. We discovered today level 3 hero house has 8 different levels till it's finished, and you can't actually build a large garage until your level 3 hero house is at stage 4. So there's a lot to do in the game. Obviously the large garages and the level 3 hero house use cinder blocks, and you can only make cinder blocks if you've got a level 2 house. So it kind of all stands on itself, really.
Oh, missed the turn.
One of our guys is actually done. He's built everything now.
That's taken a while, hasn't it?
He's pretty on it, actually. He's pretty switched on. He's got all of the best stuff in the game, and he's finished all his houses. The only thing he hasn't got is a level 3. The only thing he hasn't got is a large garage, and I'm sure he'll build one of those soon. So I'm fairly close myself. I'm level 2, and I've got my level 2 house. I'm just using my level 2 house to make the cinder blocks to build my level 3. So just waiting to get up to level 3 as well, which is 15,000 humanity.
Wow.
Yes, I currently have 12,000, and that's took me a good month to get that high.
I have 3, so that's going to take a while. So this is why it's best with 2 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the more people you have, the better chance you have of getting heroic deeds. You know, if you've got 4 guys that need a blood bag, and you're the guy with the 4 blood bags, you're going to get like quite a bit of humanity off of that.
Yeah. So this is one of the big ones you were talking about.
Yep. So yeah, if you just middle click on the doors, and in we go. What we got? We got some glass. Now this is, you definitely need this for the helicopter. You'll need 4 or 5 of those.
Cool.
And another hatchet and a bag of cement. You want some cement? You probably don't want that cement.
Not yet.
Not yet. So what's your main plan? Is it to get the helicopter and go to Salvation?
I personally would like to get the helicopter and get a little camp set up somewhere outside of a city, but we'll just see how we go. The primary objective is get the helicopter up and running, and that's going to take us long enough, I think.
Yeah.
After that, pretty much we've got a whole world to choose from.
Pretty much. So on the small island, there's a little group of guys, 2 or 3, and on the main island, near the other airfield, that's our base. So there's quite a lot of us now. I think there's about 10 or 12 of us living in the village.
So there's nobody actually set up near the other airfield yet?
Near where I met you?
Yeah.
Nope. Don't get me wrong. The area you're in gets very highly looted.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, it's got to be a hotspot because it's a big city.
Yeah, it's a great area as well. That industrial we went to, that docks where you've got the hospital, and obviously now I know that there's so many cafes in your little town. I'll be coming up here a bit more often too. So.
You're going for the cafe culture then.
I love cafes. I think they're extremely underrated. You can get some really, really, really good stuff from the cafes in this game, or pubs, or have big arguments on YouTube about this. I call them cafes. A lot of people call them pubs. They're the same thing. But there's a fire station here as well.
I think there's 2 or 3 fire stations in this city. 2 hospitals that I've found.
There's a police
so
station here as well. So
police stations as well.
Hoffman as well.
And
so
3 police stations.
Okay, new tip: never go in a building with one entrance and exit.
And that's the police station.
Yeah, anywhere where there's only one way in, just don't do it, because if you get
a church.
Yeah, because the church is wide enough that you can get around them and back out the door. You can even close them all in there.
Because we've got a church around here somewhere, I think.
Yeah, there's a cafe on that corner.
Okay,
Yep,
we're
there is a
definitely
church.
not alone.
Oh yeah, it's fine as long as you keep moving.
Yeah.
Rule 1: cardio. Never stop moving.
Holding the wall down here for the church.
Yes.
I do
See
like
that.
these churches because the only way into the grounds of the church is through a hole that's clearly been blown in the wall. They have no original gate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point actually. No footpath, no gate.
Yeah. It's almost
very-
as like nobody wants to visit church.
Okay. Let's see what we can do here.
I'm going to need to move over here a bit.
Trying to
maybe-
get his attention a little.
He doesn't seem to want to come to church.
No,
He's going to burst into flames if he comes in here.
I think he will. Come on. He really doesn't want to do it, does he? Come on. Oh, yep. There we go.
We've got some friends out there.
Yes.
There we
There
go.
are a fair few.
You've got him now.
Right. Time to just go crazy on this guy.
He really persistently does not want to die.
No, you got to get the headshots. That was a whole clip into his body and did absolutely nothing. So, have to get those headshots.
How do I switch my gun between automatic mode and... does it seem to be going
Use your F key, and that'll put it on semi and burst.
Okay, cool.
Semi is obviously single shot. And you can't go full auto with that gun, unfortunately. So he has got the same blueprint. Toolbox. Would you like a toolbox?
I have a toolbox.
Excellent.
That's how I managed to work out how to get my tent to work. What are these up here? I think there's more blueprints up here.
Yes, indeed.
I think I've got the
Hero level 1.
That's in my truck.
Okie dokie. There's an Alice pack here. Oh, it's just despawned. Wonderful.
SA61, is that any good?
It's
I haven't had
it's
much
not
luck
bad.
with
The
it.
ammo's very rare for it, so it's kind of tricky. It's not a bad little. It takes up your pistol slot. It's not bad. It's better than a Makarov, but if you had anything else, I wouldn't take one.
Right.
I try and roll SD. Like one of my guns has to be silenced, and once you've been to Salvation a few times, the M9 SD is pretty good. The crosshairs are pretty derpy. I don't really like them, but silenced pistol is especially nice. I find that the primary weapons that are silenced, they kind of lack the punch that you need to kill Hoffman. They'll kill any other zombies like a G36K, guns like that, or even a silenced M4. were pretty good, but they do lack the power to take down him.
Yeah.
And he can be a
He
pain.
looks like an old man. You wouldn't think he'd take that much.
Oh.
Oh, he's gone. There we go.
You upset him.
You look like an old man. Now bugger off.
Now bugger off.
I'm flashing thirsty. Give me a second. Drinky poos. And I might as well eat while I'm at it.
Yep, I do exactly the same.
Okay, drinky eaty. All done. And that's giving me some more blood back.
Excellent, Joy. So, I think that concludes my top tips. I don't really do too much else in the game. I pretty much run around and loot and make sure I'm indoors when I'm killing zombies.
Well,
That's
that
pretty.
loot cycling is
Yes.
going to be the thing to do, I think.
Yeah, what you want to do is make sure you're doing it in an area worth doing. So, you know, don't find that. For instance, don't loot the church and then sort of stand there for 10 minutes doing nothing and then loot the church. You want to get an area where you loot a building, loot a building, loot a building, loot, and by the time you get back to the beginning, it's full of loot again. Right. So you want a good 5 or 6 buildings very close to each other. I mean, the perfect place for you from here, I'd say, would be go to where we met.
Yep.
Loot. You could loot the fire station, all of the cafes, the school, and the shop. Drive down to the industrial, loot that, loot the hospital, and go back up to the town again. Mm-hmm. Loot the town again, go back, loot the industrial, loot the hospital. That'll work really, really well because they're about the right distance apart. Okay. Especially with that truck that you've got at the stadium.
Yep.
If you took that truck, there's plenty of good stuff in there. Just quickly, I will show you how to sort of cycle loot and stuff. So if you come up here, there's some empty tin cans.
Yeah.
So if you roller on those and go to gear,
yep.
Double click your backpack and throw both cans in your backpack if you've got space.
Yep.
Okay. So now, for instance, we're just going to dump everything you don't want. You find yourself a little spot, so just here's fine.
Where Hoffman was. Yep.
Press G and then double click your backpack and click one of those empty tin cans across into your main inventory.
Yep.
And then press G again. Okay, now press G again and click the tin can that is now in your inventory.
Yep.
And in the bottom right, click drop.
Okay.
Okay, and then press G and come out of that. So right, you've dropped that tin can.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can scroll on it and go to gear. And now double click your backpack and double click the other tin can out of your backpack.
Gotcha.
So what you need to do is, using an empty tin can, make yourself a loot pile. And then throw everything you don't want into that loot pile. That's pretty much the way it goes. What I do is always double click my backpack and like for instance, I've got a hatchet and an entrenching tool that I don't want. So what I'm going to do is use these 2-round slugs. So click on the 2-round slugs and drop. And they should be on the floor here.
Yep.
I'm going to scroll on the 2-round slugs and go to gear. Double click my backpack and double click the hatchet. Double click the entrenching tool and close. That's just going to dump those on the floor.
Cool. Empty tin can. Goes that way. Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go. Nice and easy.
Okay.
So yeah, you do that. Basically fill up your backpack. Once it's full, make a little loot pile like this. Obviously this will stay here now. So you go for another little loot run, come back, dump the junk, put the good stuff in the van, go on a run,
so
dump the junk.
Having this here isn't going to affect the other loot points around this room?
No, it shouldn't do. I do try and dump stuff outside, or even put it inside an unused vehicle, one with no wheels and whatnot, but yeah. I tend to dump stuff in the middle of the road. That way if someone drives along in a car, it can despawn the loot pile and actually get rid of it. So
cool.
After a while you will find that quite important stuff in DayZ becomes obsolete once you start sort of cycling through loot and stuff. For instance, matches, toolboxes, hatchets, everything, we just throw it away. We pretty much don't need it. Even car wheels now. I've got 36 car wheels in my house, so
Nice.
I just ignore car wheels now, and I have done for about 2 weeks.
There's
But there will come a day
car
when
wheels.
there will come a day when I need some, but just not.
They'll
right
just
now.
keep spawning, will they? There's no limit on
Yep.
them in the game. Cool.
Yeah, I mean they used to spawn 4 in a little patch up at Bylov petrol station, but they took that out. So I think it was a bit too easy. 4 wheels all spawning together in one place. So
Let's go and have another look at this hospital quickly.
I was thinking the same thing. I want to go and check this and see.
It'll probably work now, but I've been along this road so many times and just never found anything in the hospital.
Yeah, never actually been.
And it's got the construction site opposite it.
Oh, very nice. So in Sabina, there's actually a spot where there's a double construction site. One of the best places to go for industrial loot. But yeah, this should definitely have stuff inside it.
I'd have thought so, because it is a fairly big building.
Hmm. Yeah, it's exactly the same layout as the other one in Sabina, so you should get loot down here in this back room, and there should be a body. There it is. Yeah, no loot. And then you should get nothing in here either. And right the way down the end.
There's another 2 rooms down here, I think.
Yeah, there's normally like, yeah, I see what you mean.
Well, that's what I thought. I mean, I thought big hospital. There's bound to be something in here, but
Yeah.
every time I come...
mean, what happens is they kind of do it in a rush, copy and paste the building from somewhere else, and sometimes if it's uneven ground, for instance, the loot spawns will actually be like inside this wall and stuff. It's where they don't quite get it lined up.
Yeah.
So I mean, I might actually post something on the forums about this, so, or anyone watching, if you want to post on the forums, get them to fix the hospital.
Furry's broken hospital.
Indeed. See, even that sounded dodgy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's best just stay away from the wall, really.
Yeah. So yeah, this thing here, this is, if you loot this completely, empty it, and if you, this is perfect 'cause it's got this little junk car just here, so you could dump all the unwanted stuff in here.
Junk car. This is better than my car.
It's a larder.
Yeah, it's still better than my car.
True fact, right there. A couple of other tips as well. You know how to set waypoints, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Another little trick that you can do is, and you can do this to anyone. Someone stops in a car to give you a lift, so I will get in the driver's seat. First, I would put something inside the car. So I will put my, there you go, my beastie gun is now in the car, and I'm in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
So I've pulled up to give you a lift. So in you get, into the back. Okay, you can steal my gun. If you press M to bring up your map,
Yep.
go to units,
Yeah.
and then click gear, you can see my gun. And you can just take that.
Oh, cool.
So anything inside the vehicle, so I've just taken it, but anything inside a vehicle you can take from just being inside the car. Also, things like buses don't actually have a part on them that you can scroll to gear. What you need to do with a bus is get into the driver's seat, then get into the back from the driver's seat, and then you can scroll to gear. Or you can get in the driver's seat and just do the map, units, gear trick.
It's all a little bit elaborate.
Yes, the engine is in desperate needs of a revamp, and they are sorting it for the standalone, and even Armour 3 is pretty well improved. So you got me on edge about looking for helicopter parts now. I'd really like to find what you need, but it doesn't seem to be spawning any stuff.
I think this one does higher floors. I seem to remember I found stuff higher up in this one. I don't know if it was anything useful. I think it's a lot of cement mixers and sand and not sand, cement.
Yes, cement's kind of good, but once you got a ton of it, you don't really need it anymore. It seems to be the only thing that spawns as well. Same with entrenching tools. Like you really, really, really need a new hatchet, and you'll walk into a factory that's got 6 entrenching tools in it.
Yeah.
You just don't need an entrenching tool.
I've been there. Whoop, missed the stairs there. I'm sure I've picked things up in here, but doesn't seem to be anything at the moment.
There's obviously there's been bugs. It's it's a mod of a game, but I did notice in your video that you both had crossbows at one point.
Yeah.
That was a bug. That basically only crossbows would spawn, which was quite a strange bug. And also they had the entrenching tools bug, where only entrenching tools would spawn. So for quite a while there, we had around 100 entrenching tools back at base and about 50 crossbows.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we were going to have a big crossbow fight, and then we thought about it, humanity and stuff. Didn't want to. Everyone just cares about the humanity so much that no one wants to actually start killing each other.
Cowards.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.